Hello and welcome everybody to another operator overview. We're going to be going over Twitch today, and we're going to be going over her loadout, her ability, and then I'll show you a custom game, so I can explain it a little bit better outside of an actual gameplay, and then we'll roll some actual gameplay with her so you can kind of see what she looks like in a more real-world environment. So she is a difficulty level 2, a speed 2, and an armor 2. So basically the most mid-tier of all of the operations, which I can agree with the difficulty 2 because her shock drone does take a little bit of maneuvering and kind of thought process to use. So her ability is the shock drone. She has 2 shock drones that she can throw out, and they zap cameras or any electronic device, and they will destroy it. So you can destroy mute jammers if you can see them before they take out your drone. You can take out cameras inside or outside of the map. So it's honestly a very effective device, and you can kind of see it being used a little bit later on. So we can go to her loadout. She has 3 primaries. She has her F2, the 417, and the SG close quarter combat shotgun. Like I've explained in pretty much every one of these videos, I always run the assault rifle, but they did do a change recently that made her assault rifle a little bit more difficult to use. It's a little bit harder to control. So I've been noticing a lot of people have actually been using her marksman rifle, and it is a good weapon. It's just you just run out of a lot of, if we look at the capacity, and the fire rate is obviously a lot lower. So in a lot of fights you can be at a disadvantage if you're fighting someone who has a super high fire rate SMG or things like that. So for her secondary, she has a P9 handgun and she has this revolver. I rolled the P9 only because it's a lot quicker to reload. The damage is higher, like we described in the with the M4 from the last videos with the FBI operators. But the P9 just has a higher capacity and a decent amount of damage, and it honestly has a pretty good recoil pattern if you look to the bottom right there versus the the revolver here. She has a breach charge and a claymore. I use the breach charge because it allows me to get blow a couple hatches, get my drone into situations where I can shock some enemy devices if I need to. I have ran the claymore before, but I find that I use the breach charges more often. So from there we can move out to her cosmetics. She has quite a few different headgears unlocked here. She's one of the more original operators, so she has quite a few cosmetics. I'm using the legendary skin, so it automatically has the headgear. So we can move down to the uniforms. Once again, as I said, I'm using the legendary, so it kind of takes up everything and it gives you some more skins. But she has quite a few different cosmetic items that you can use if you're interested in those sort of things. And so we can move into a custom game. I can show you what she looks like there, and then you'll go into a actual match with her, and you can kind of get a better feel for what she can do and what her abilities are used for. So thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. So here we are in a custom game, and then we can go over her device. You throw out her shock drone. It's just like any regular drone. You throw it out, and then you can access it any way you would normally access your drone. And as you can see, it has a reticle in the middle of the screen, and that's for aiming the actual shock portion of it. So you can aim up at this camera here and click, and as you can see, it destroyed it. And if you look at the bottom right, it has 2 out of unlimited charges. It'll basically just, as you can see that wheel slowly turning. Once it gets back, you'll have another charge to use. So you can use it to destroy bandits, electronic batteries, or you can use it to destroy mute jammers if you can get into a location where you don't get your drone stuck. But yeah, it's really effective to take out cameras. Because then when you go to move in, people won't know that you're there because you've taken the cameras out already. So we can use her gun so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. That was a little loud. So I won't control the recoil at all. And as you can see, this is because of the new recoil pattern that they've added to this gun. They made it's I don't want to say unusable, but it honestly is way worse than it used to be. She used to be a lot stronger. And you can control the recoil. And if you've seen my other videos, the recoil pattern is usually a lot smaller. But unfortunately, they made it so it's a little bit more difficult. She was being used a lot, and honestly, she was one of my more favorite operators, so I'm a bit upset that they changed it. But, they obviously did it to balance the game, so you can't say too much. So there's her recoil pattern, her gun, and her ability. And we'll go into a actual game mode right after this, and you can actually see what it looks like in a real match. So thank you, and see you in the next video.
Located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
saw that one coming.
You have dropped the diffuser. Four last stop standing. One friendly operator remaining.
Got you, boys.
Four eliminated.
That was a little sketchy though. So all in all, Twitch is a strong operator. Honestly, she used to be a little better before they did the rework to her gun. You can still use her DMR, which is still strong. It's just her gun used to be one of the, honestly, almost the best guns in the game. But she still is viable. And if you still want to pick her up because you like her ability, and the shock drone is strong as well. It's really good for eliminating cameras before the match starts. So you could try to, cut down a little bit on spawn peekers if they're trying to monitor the cameras. So if that's what you're interested in and she seems like something you'd like to pick up, then I do recommend her. But on the same note, do look out for the fact that they have changed their gun up. So she's not as good as she used to be. So thank you very much, and see you in the next video.